So today's going to be, just like every other week where we break down the week, we break down trades we took. But I want to encourage everybody today, if you want, take the mute off and you can talk. Hey, I seen this, I took this trade because of this. I really want everybody to feel like they can, bring up any questions or concepts or concerns with the trades they took, or trades we took, what we were thinking, anything like that. My overall goal of these webinars is for everybody to get something from them, right? Like, this is the time, right, where you be like, oh, Josh, I seen you take this trade this week. What were you looking at? Or, Darren, you did this or that. You know what I mean? I just really want this. I want everybody to, to be able to do that. Or if you just want to talk about something, feel free, take the floor. My throat's kind of, coming out of, being raspy and this, that, and the third from whatever. But more importantly, I just want everybody to know that they could say anything they want here, right? This was a struggling week for me. We're going to break into it, but I sized up this week in the beginning of the week, and going back through my journal, I'm, looking at some of the trades I took, and there's definitely a lot of things I could have done better, and that's the beauty of trading, bro. It's like, you're not defined by your loser, you're defined by your ability to reflect on that loser and learn from it, right? Like, we've been seeing a lot of traders in the team start to kill it, and it's because they're realizing what they're good at, and they're magnifying it, right? And they're focusing on their strengths. And that doesn't necessarily mean don't focus on your weaknesses, but what it does mean is like amplify what's working for you, right? Develop your strengths, focus on them, build the conviction in them, and just reflect on that and find your worth in that. Don't find your worth in, oh, I lost $1,000 this week, or oh, I made $2,000 this week, right? Like, I love, like, Darren had a phenomenal day yesterday, right? And it's just, and he stuck to his process, dude. Like, we're seeing that development in these traders, and I love it, man. It's just really good stuff.
When a trade goes against us, but we have no idea if the market is going to stop us out and turn around and trade in our direction.
Right.
No idea. And the thing is, we can take a losing trade and we can look back on that trade and we can be like, damn, we lost, a full 30% or, our max amount on our trade. And we can think that, it's, we're bad traders or whatever. But you have to realize, like, what did you see that caused you to enter that trade? And a lot of times, like, you were extremely close.
Yeah.
Either you had the right idea, the market went where you wanted, but you entered just slightly too early.
Yeah.
It's not like your whole mentality was messed up for that trade. It's not like, it's not like you necessarily went on tilt, but
right.
You have to recognize when you did these things correctly. And a lot of times, like, we can do so many things correctly, and we can mess up in one tiny thing, and then bam, you got a losing trade on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't look at that in a negative light. You have to realize that you were almost there, and then realize, okay, I only have this one tiny little area which I need to improve.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point, bro. Like, because, when we just see red, right, and we go, oh, impending doom. It's like, nah, dude. What tweak, right? Like, and that's why we go so hard on you're not defined by your P&L, dude. You're defined by your system in place and how well you were able to execute it. Monday, dude, I took 2 losing trades on Monday. Now, looking back, like, this sort of back and forth price action, and this is the thing about the market, bro. Like, you don't know which day is going to be like this, right? I mean, and Mondays are pretty notorious for being garbage. So going forward, like, as far as scaling up, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to trade Mondays with higher size, but I'm just going to be aware, right? I'm going to be aware of, hey, listen, right? What do I need to see to trade in a continuation style, right? You could see price was ripping up. We opened right next to previous day high, right? The pre-market plan here was any acceptance above 520. I want to go up and target bullish targets. But if we don't get the acceptance from buyers, right, what does that look like, right? And now, this is that whole 50-50 perspective I'm always talking about, right? Where if buyers can't hold PDH, that means sellers are in control. and it's pretty much a move back down to EOD or the next critical level, right? And that's literally what we got. We got that little sell off right there in the morning, right before the bell. Open print was established, and then we got this move down to EOD, right? I didn't take this short because I didn't like the risk reward, right? EOD was super close, and price just kind of played around for a minute. You can see we ripped in the end of day. I couldn't really find the structure I was looking for a move off this level, and then price popped above it. Just kind of went back and forth. I didn't put on a trade until this green. This green candle right here. I'm gonna show you why I took this long. We ripped up into open print. I was looking for sellers to hold this, but they couldn't. Then we blew above it, right? And then we kind of danced with it. And then we got back above the 9. So market kind of looked like this. And at this point in the day, this is where I failed, Debo. And I don't know, I kind of want your opinion on this. But what happened is we finally closed back above the 9. This really isn't the structure I look for when putting on a trade. This isn't really any, looking back, right? Like, there's really not any clear side taking control of open print. Like, buyers get above it, sellers take below it, buyers get back above it. And I feel like I just kind of let this candle closing, engulfing above the level, above the 9, kind of caused me to be like, okay, listen, I'm just going to put on a trade right here with higher than usual size at that. And that's where I believe I went wrong. Right now on this trade, I was able to keep my stop right below this candle. So it wasn't like, I broke, that character, right? Which is one thing I'm really proud of. But price rallied and then came down, hit my stop. And just like Darren said, right? Like, I really like how you said it, bro, because what would you say where you're like, I'm not going to change my stop based on where my entry was, right? Like, no matter what, I'm not going to risk more than what I was supposed to. If the trade goes against me more than 30%, it's probably because my entry was off, right? So that was my first trade right there. And then, yeah. What do you think about that, Dino?
My thing about Monday was, okay, so, if you were to go long in this scenario, you want to see, some kind of a demand zone from the previous day or some area where buyers, like, strongly took control.
Yeah.
And then you want to use that as, confirmation that those buyers are coming back in. And I just felt like we missed that we did not have that on Monday, really.
Yeah.
There wasn't, like, a clear demand zone where buyers were coming back in. Yes, we had low of day defended, but at the same time, we had almost a lower low and then a lower high there.
Yeah. Right.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that in a scenario like this, so that supply zone that you had drawn from the previous day there, I longed that up into, like, off the open print retest, and I had no business longing that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, basically somewhere right there, or actually the wick before it, I think.
Right here.
Somewhere there, yeah. Somewhere there I longed it. And honestly, when I look back, we had already rejected that supply zone from the previous day, so I had no business longing that, and I realized sometimes I'm just so obsessed with these open print retests that I saw an open print retest and my mind was just like, oh,
yeah,
open print retest, we got to take it.
Yeah.
And I put more weight on the fact that there was an open print retest than on the fact that we had done a supply rejection from the previous day, and I should be looking for a short setup.
Yeah.
And this is what happens, and I looked over it in my journal, and very often, like, if I don't know what to do, I'll just latch on to, like, either pre-market high retest or previous day high retest or something like that.
Yeah.
When we can't be doing that stuff.
Yeah, it's actually I love that you said that because you're 100% right. And you know why we do this, Debo? It's so crazy you brought this up, dude, because I literally was just reading about this. It costs less energy. It takes less effort to go, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna long OP than than because when we, like you said, when we can't understand what's going on, we latch on to some strategy that's worked in the past, which don't get me wrong, I love the open print retest. But if it's traded out of context and we're rejecting a high, you're 100% right. You know what I mean? And shout out to you for becoming aware of that, right? Because most people never become aware of that, right? It's a vital, it's something that cripples a lot of traders, bro. And it's hard because, you know, we're constantly looking for our edge. And what happens is we look so hard for it that we take our eyes off the market conditions. I made the same mistake, right? I couldn't identify my edge this day, right? I felt like I missed a couple of them. I wanted to take this long once this structure was broke off end of day, but I really couldn't get a good entry. You know, I guess I should have took that one right here, but I didn't like the 9, right? I didn't like the space. So here I am keeping my criteria really tight until nothing forms, and then I break all my rules and just go, all right, I'm just gonna long this candle. You know what I mean? So that's another thing, right? Like, oh, my criteria is high and tight today, I'm not gonna trade bullshit. And then, oh, what? I can't make it past 130, where now I just have to put on a trade. And yeah, and then so I stomp out of that trade, and then I put on another long right here. This candle was right here, right? So then we kind of get this battle here at OP. What I'll give it here, I do like how a little more structure was formed, a better relationship with the 9 here, took her long, and once again got stomped out, right? And you know, that's just how the market kind of works on days like this, and you know, it is what it is. But yeah, those were my
one thing that helped. So that was the one losing trade. Oh no, sorry. I put on a long play earlier in the morning, and I got stopped out. Literally, like, I mean, that play up into previous day high was a long play, and I got stopped out, and I was like, you know, I was low key pissed, and then I put on that long. Anyway, those are my two plays.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on this Monday, if you look at higher time frames, like the 2 or 4 hour, usually I like to understand, you know, where the market's heading. Is it heading to a trend line? Is it heading to a demand zone? Is it heading to a break and retest?
Yeah.
And I could not figure, it wasn't heading to any of those places on Monday. And it wasn't even like, it wasn't going anywhere that would tell me something about the market.
Look at the 1 hour. And garbage.
Yeah, it's not doing anything that helps us. So like, I want to be in a position where if I see that means sit on your hands and wait until something, you know, makes sense in the market. Because, yes, the market's oscillating back and forth, and you could have probably made some money, but, like, the way that I want to trade it is I want to only trade, you know, when I see it's bouncing off a zone or, you know, it's going to some sort of structure that I can understand how the market works.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I was also a bit frustrated there because I mean, look, I mean this green candle meets all my criteria for a breakout above 520. I'm like, oh, dude, this thing's and it just didn't happen.
Yeah, but it was below previous day high. I mean, we rejected previous day high pretty well.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think that's what we wanted, and that is what I wanted too. Yeah. But I kind of just jumped the gun, and I kind of just like told myself that it was happening before I actually saw criteria that it was happening.
Agreed, 100%. Yeah, and then you know, clean little rejection there, and then boom. Then all right, so that was Monday.
That was all Monday.
Yeah. That was just one shitty day. Or let me rephrase, just back and forth. And, you know, let this just be a testimony of, like, you know, accepting the fact that you can't control price. And, you know, here I am coming into the week. I had an amazing week last week, one of my best weeks ever. So I'm coming into this week, like, you know, just ready to trade, sizing up, ready to crush it, and, letting some shitty price action. Or you know, I'm not even going to call it shitty, just not what I wanted price action to kind of affect the way I approached the game, right? And, ended up just taking, 2 shitty plays off OP. But more importantly, contain the risk, and proud of that, and proud of, my ability to just kind of be like, okay, I'm over it. Then comes the next day. Okay, so this right here is Tuesday. Tuesday. Okay. So not okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Monday. Okay. So let me line up these levels real quick. So these are definitely a pretty significant. We got PDL. We got EOD.
Huh.
Right there. Look at that bounce off EOD, bro. That's clutch right there. Okay. All right, and then we got PDH. So Tuesday morning I was not in front of the charts until like 10:30, right? Which okay. So first thing I want to point out though is check out how PDL, right? Our previous day high, this 520 level, right? That I was looking the day prior, I just super focused on a break above this level, right? So we had 520, right? I'll call it 520.55, right? Which was Friday's high. So anything above 520.46, we'll say, I'm looking for a move up to 524, right? I want to play from 520 to 524. But if we can't hold this level, I obviously want to play back down to 518, 517, and then possibly 514, right? So that's like how I do this every day, though, right? Is like, okay, we have our bullish level, bullish above, bearish below, somewhat, right? So that's kind of how my mind goes. Now, pre-market, we were ripping right up into this level. So historically, you got to be, for me at least, anytime you're getting like this breakout above this level, I need a little bit more confirmation of acceptance to long the market, right? Now, you're going to see we rip right above this level. And, candles like this are one of the reasons I don't like taking trades the first 5 minutes. Because I wasn't in front of my computer, but I was watching it on my phone. This first couple minutes looked really bullish, right? They were ripping above 520.50. I assume a lot of traders were longing this. And then look at the clean rejection we get from this level, closing back below the 9 and below previous day high, right? So that's pretty bearish right there. Then it rips right up into open print, right? And this open print rejection works so well because it fits the context, right? Like versus the one yesterday where we were trading in kind of like a range. This day, open print was aligned right next to previous day high, right? Anytime two critical levels are really close to each other, you usually get a really big move or some sort of, behavior from large money due to all that liquidity at those levels, right? So check it out. I mean, you get the sell off, you get the retest, price is holding the 9, right? And then price just sunk right into end of day. So I want everybody just to kind of highlight this right here, dude. This right here is the moves we want every day, dude. Level to level, imbalance to imbalance. I mean, this is like picture perfect. I love seeing these trades. I mean, check it out. Previous day high, open print, rejection, rip right down to end of day. Dude, $2 move almost. Insane. I hope somebody caught that. It's beautiful. And then let me see something here. Then we had this wall that I was really aware of because I was in longs the day before at this 519.50 level. Check out how price fell below that. Rips right up to it. But look at the 9D EMA. So this has really helped me from getting caught in these bull traps, right? Because look at price comes down to end of day, and buyers are there, dude. They really showed up. Like look at that pop we get right off end of day. But notice that 9 is way down there. Hold on, let me do this real quick so we can. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. See how low that 9 is, right? So price, and the reason I do highlight this is because this helps me with my short plays. I didn't short this. I wish I did. But look at how low the 9 is. So anytime you get that quick pop on the 5 minute, like into a level of structure, notice where the 9 is, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to come back to the 9. So I asked myself, I won't long this until I get some sort of structure so that the 9 can catch up, right? Like, I'm not going to long this just because some buyers showed up, due to the fact that 9 is still so low, right? Like, I hope that makes sense, because this really helps me from taking a lot of trades that I used to get caught up in. And this helps me kind of determine that conditions are still really bearish. So price rips up really quick into that 519.50, and then this thing just sunk, dude. Look at this. Boom. Sunk. So I came back to the market right around like this time, right? And I'm like, dude, this thing just sunk. And look at how it happened, right? Like, once it broke previous day low, this thing just found mega legs to the downside. But what I really want to point out is, look at how it held the 9 properly the whole time, right? So, like, it just kind of helps me, like, you know, understand this is what a healthy trend looks like. When we're in trades, this is what you want to see. If you can see this while in a trade, you're doing good. You should stay in until, you know, further notice. And even look, though, right? Like, it comes up, tags it. It's a mega resistance until it isn't. And this is a day where I missed this move. So now in my mind, I'm a bit frustrated, right? Just like Darren kind of just said. So now I'm looking for a short play, right? I'm super biased because of this mega move down, right? So price rips way below previous day low and then spikes up, right? So then we get this massive gap here between price and the 9, right? And I don't know, hold on, 516, what is that? 516.50. Where is it? Hold on. Right here. 516. Okay, so it looks like I had a level. Oh, right here. So I had a level right here. And this is another.
Oh, yeah, daily time frame.
Yeah. I let this level hold a lot of weight, right? Now, I broke a lot of rules because of this level. Yeah, so like Darren just said, this was from the daily time frame, right? And we fell below it. So this is 516.52. Now, price sold off below it, and we're coming up for a retest at this level. So what it looked like was this, right? So I took this short off 516. I probably got in short around 516.30, right? I had a relatively good entry on this. I let it rip up. We had a really large gap between price and the 9. So I'm playing short into the 9 and then into the lows, right? But where I went wrong here is this isn't really my criteria. I'm taking this trade because I missed this, I missed that, and now we have a gap between price and the 9, right? So now I'm entering the market short, putting money, putting risk on the line because what? Because price is extended? Is that my criteria? Is that what's been working for me? No. Then why am I doing it, right? And this is kind of what I wanted to highlight in this webinar is like, you need to figure out what works for you and repeat it. This isn't really my edge. I'm not going to sit here and say this was a horrible trade. What would have made this trade better was profit taking into the 9, right? Like, I'm not going to necessarily say, oh, this is a bad trade and no one should have took it. What I'm going to say is if you're taking a trade like this, just be aware of where your first target should be. And if you get any resistance at that target, fucking lock them in and get out of the trade, right? So, like, we're above the 9, right? Buyers showed up down here. I'm playing off a level of structure. Cool. I broke. Now check this out. Look how far. Look at where the 9 is on the 1 hour. All the way up at 517.50, right? So the market looks like this. I'm playing short off 516.52. The market ripped all the way back into the 9 on the 1 hour, right? And I was aware of that, and I still put this trade on. So, like, you know, once again, this is where I went wrong on this trade. I took that short, and then market popped up on me, stopped me out. So, you know, once again, just reflect on what works for you and what you're doing.
I mean, dude, trading with the 9 on the hourly time frame works a lot of the time. You know, remember? I think
yeah, bro, that was my main
all
issue.
Losers,
yes, yeah, bro.
all of your losing trades were you trading against the 9
yes,
on the hourly
was
time
literally this. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, if that's going to work on a balance of probabilities, then I still think, you know, I mean, if you look at the hourly time frame when the 9 looks like that, I guarantee you're going to win more often than not.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we got to take lessons. We got to learn from it. So, I still think that was a pretty decent play right there.
Absolutely. The only issue is I was getting in right there, 5:16.50. It still had a bit place to go, but yeah. Look, there was no follow through there. It was just, you know, and this is what Joe's always talking about, where the massive fake out, right? Like the quicker the drop down, the snapback. You know what I mean? So like, you know, once again, if I could change anything about this trade, it would have been just playing into, it would have been taking the profit earlier and just being aware of that, right? And that's one thing I want to get closer to is like, okay, one of my criterias for grading yourself while trading is taking profit based on structure. So like, did structure hold in a bullish way here? It did. Did it respect the 9 a bit? Yeah. You know, I probably, you know, I brought my stop down to here at 5:16.60. Didn't get hurt on this trade, right? But just, you know. But yeah, and then that was my only trade for this day.
I had 2 failed long plays that day. Because I felt like every time there was a gap to the upside, I kept on thinking a reversal was going to happen. And actually, Darren, you were next to me when I was doing this, and you gave me advice on to wait till it closes. So wait to see how it closes in relation to the 9.
Yeah.
Instead of just looking at the gap.
Yeah.
And after implementing that, like the rest of the week, I started doing that, and that helped a lot. Like just analyzing the relationship.
Yeah. With
the 9, like price and the 9, they tend to have a relationship. It could be bearish off of it or bullish off of it, but it's a very good indicator.
Oh yeah.
And see, look at the bottom when it closed above it.
Yeah.
Then it stayed above it. For
right here.
The whole way up.
Isn't that crazy?
5:17.88.
Yeah. Bro, it's a great way to identify the shift. Massive way. Right? Look at the gaps. Anytime there's a gap, it tends to get filled. That's what was throwing me off right here. We had a mega gap between price and the 9, and it wouldn't close. So I played short into the close, and once it closed, buyers showed up. What does that tell me? Buyers are strong. You know, and that's what helped me not trade for the rest of the day, because I'm like, okay, buyers are strong, but I'm short biased, so I'm done. I was like, I can't stop thinking short. I kept writing in the chat. I'm like, oh, Ion PDL retest for shorts. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm biased as shit right now. I gotta chill. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, I literally, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't good.
Dude, I managed to not trade at all this day, and I think I was also busy with other things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've been busy before and placed the trade. So I think I just saw the sell-off and I missed the sell-off and I realized that I would be biased.
Yeah.
So I guess I didn't put any trades on.
Good, yeah.
But I think it's important to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And you know,
it's took a lot of money to earn that, hasn't it, Debo?
Yeah.
Me and Novak were
what's funny?
Talking about
and we talked about it at my club at school. But on Tuesday, before the market opened, some dude placed the biggest bet, the biggest bond, trade ever, betting on the fact that the Fed is going to cut interest rates 3 times before the end of the year. He was super bullish, and he did it ahead of CPI.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what the outcome of that was, but I think that could have been why the market did some weird stuff, because it was the biggest bond trade ever.
Oh wow!
And CPI went and crashed.
Yeah.
A day later, so I don't know if he got wrecked or not, but
I'm sure he did. It was. What are you gonna do, right? Nice. So now the next day was Wednesday, bro. I actually had a hitter this day. This was a really good day. But I want to break down what was good, what I seen this day. So everyone knows how much I love that 1 hour structure. Okay. So you're gonna be able to see here. Let me see. Okay. So I had. Let me move all this real quick. I got way too much going on here. Okay, so PDL was this guy. Okay, let me get rid of this guy. Boom. Because this day right here really helped me, like being able to trade structure helped me tremendously right here. All right. And the way I do it is just a bunch of those if then statements. If this holds, then this. If this holds, then this. Right. So this is the 1 hour here. We got that mega sell off from CPI. The volume was crazy this day, bro. This day was like wild, back and forth. Let me find. Let me see. This was 410. Okay, right here. So, hold on. Was it 410? Yeah, 410. Okay. All right, so let me do this. Okay, so we have those levels, right, that you guys just seen I grabbed. We had PDL, we had 513.87, we had 512.72, right, which was literally defended to a T, and then we had 511.05, right? So we're getting a mega sell-off from CPI, okay? Now we're breaking levels, and this is what I love about structure, because structure is going to tell you everything you need to know about strength, who's in control. So now when we break below 512.72, which let me just show you guys where I got that from. Okay, so 512.72 was from this day's low. That's it. It was from the low of this day, right? The low of this candle was literally 512.76. So I got this line 512.72 from the low, not pre-market low, not post low, from the previous day low. Always the daily time frame wicks opens closes, right? That's been really helpful for me. But yeah, okay, so that low and then this day's low, right? That's 513.87. Okay, so now back to this chart, 5-minute time frame. We open, and you can see immediately buyers showed up at that 512.70 level, right? Cool. We got open print. I'm not going to draw it because there'd be too many lines on the chart. But open print is right here at 513.52. Or actually, I'm just going to get rid of this guy and then highlight OP. Okay. Yeah, like right there. So now we rip into PDL, right? Now, this day was one of those days where we're below previous day low. I've kind of told myself in the past, if you're below PDL, kind of remain bearish. But in my mind, I'm going, if I find any acceptance above 512.72, I'm willing to trade with those buyers, right? I was like, but I need to see some sort of structure. I need to see open print, defended, etc. Now, price rips close to PDL, we get this selling, and then this green candle just eats all of it up, right? This is what Todd calls the bull 180, right? When you got this mega bearish red candle, and then the green candle just eats it right up. Now, we rip into PDL, and then we rip down to open print, right? So this is where I entered the market long, right? And the biggest reason I liked it right here, my stop was 513, was the way price was ripping back and forth. It was hard to assess risk, right? Like, if anyone traded this day, they know, like 5-minute candles, the range on these candles were literally $1.50. Like, this is a $1.20 move. This right here is a $1.50 move. My risk accounts for about 60 cents tops. You know what I'm saying? So like, when trading like this, you have to kind of be open to accept a bit more risk if you're okay with that, and B, it's got to be off a critical level. Otherwise, you're putting yourself in extreme danger of taking a mega loss, right? So, ripped above PDL, comes into open print, hugs the 9 very well. Once again, that 5-12-72 structure couldn't hold bearishly, so that gave me the confidence to go long, right? Now, took this long. My target was like 517. Now, great trade, right? I was up really well here. My biggest flaw in this trade was not taking profits when we got extended from the 9. I still did very well on this trade, but I let this whole red candle come in, close below the 9, right? And then buyers came in a little bit, sucked down. I exited right down here at the bottom of this trade. I was trading SPX, right? So my profit taking usually on SPX is when you get extended from that 9, I usually get out of the trade. But due to my losses from the previous days, I was kind of trying to extend this a bit more, which I'm not going to say is a bad thing, but I did let it kind of affect my profit taking here, which these couple red candles cost me a bit here. So, but still really good trade off open print.
Yeah, I took one short play this day, and it was at 11:30 when we rejected previous day low. So I was mainly looking at two areas from the previous day, 5:15.80, which was Wednesday high of day, and then previous day low.
Right. Okay, hold on.
So it was those two levels from the previous day. We went up, we hit that one, rejected it.
To a T.
Then we went below previous day low, rejected that one too.
Yeah.
And then that was my short entry, and I was targeting pre-market low. And I'm really, really happy with how I managed this trade. I took a very small loss because I took profits when we initially moved to my 1-to-1 in my direction, and then price moved back and it stopped me out. For just under break even.
Nice.
And, we had those two levels from the previous day, and we rejected them bearishly.
Yeah.
And that spoke to me, that told me that price was not accepting at those previous levels, showed me that previous buyers were stopping out, and it just didn't work out in my favor, I'm really happy with how I managed that.
Yeah, that was well done, bro. You're going to see it clean on SPX too. Now, yeah, look at that. Just rejected.
Bam and bam. Yep.
Perfectly right here. Nice short play there, bro. Really good. I like how you didn't trade. I like how you didn't make any move. That was your first move?
Yeah, it was my first move.
Well done, bro. Not chasing anything. Like, look at how extended this was from the 9, and I didn't profit take. That hurts. Hold on.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That's how you learn. Just but look. But well done, Debo, on being patient, like super patient there and waiting. I mean, look at.
I love trading this way off of levels from the previous day. If I go back in my journal and I look what my high probable trades are, it's when I traded with critical levels that were tied to the previous day, and not only critical, like previous day low, but also like that
intraday.
thing right there, bam,
that intraday
inflection. These intraday levels, inflection points from the previous day, where I can see clearly that either buyers or sellers controlled, and then I use that level to play off the day, the following day. I really have a high success rate in this type of strategy.
Well, check this out, and this is how I look at it. This right here is a break and retest. Look at this.
It is.
Break, retest. Now, two things can happen here. Acceptance above this level means gap fill, right? If we get acceptance above this level, it's super high probability we're going to go to end of day. If we don't get acceptance above this level, super high probability we're going to go to low of day, right? That's literally what happened. Went straight to low of day. So, like, that's why I preach structure so much, because you learn to see this. You can always tell who's in control, right? Like if buyers hold this, you now have a high probability trade all the way up to end of day. But that doesn't necessarily tell you you can't short it if they don't hold it, right? The 50-50 perspective, where this thing's either going to go up or down. What do I need to see? Off structure to play with it. So, yeah, well done, bro. Really good. Really good. There was, hold on. Look at this thing. This thing was all over the place. Then we got some like crazy news later in the day.
Oh, but another thing on this day is, so that was my one trade for the day, and I said, it's CPI, it's chopping back and forth. I'm not making a trade, but what I did do is I was like, all right, is there anything I can learn about the price action from this day without trading it that will help me tomorrow?
Yeah.
And that level right there that you're on, that we kept on rejecting that level, I was like, okay, I'm not trading this, but I'm marking this level for tomorrow because I see how sellers are reacting at this level, and if they show back up tomorrow, I'm gonna use this to my benefit.
Yeah, bro, it's wild. I did the exact same thing. That lined me up for my short play. Cause check this out. 5:15, which we use this level Friday too, bro. We literally use this level. We use this same level Friday.
100%.
Wow. That's insane.
Look how powerful that is, man. We decided to not trade, but we still used the price action to understand what was happening.
Exactly.
I think that's amazing. I'm really happy with how we were able to do that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, because I was watching this. I was looking for longs above this level. I wanted to see, like, on this day, I wanted to see some sort of acceptance above this level. We cannot get above 5:15.13, bro. Like, it was a wall. This level was a wall. Look at this, bro. 1, 2, 3. Like, bro, could not get above this level. So the next day we open above it, right? Now in my mind, I'm going, okay, this is bullish, but it's happening pre-market. How much money have I spent on becoming bullish bias right here? Because we're above it pre-market, right? Bro, I've lost a lot of money because we're above a level pre-market. And then I just assume buyers are going to defend this because we're above it. Now, I mean, bro, we come into it, we get a little bit of green, right? The old Josh is probably longing this, right? Oh, Bayesian candle, wick, long. Nope, holding the 9, falls down below, comes up for a beautiful retest off this level, bro. This is a perfect place, short the market. Look at how the candle, bro, look at how it held the 9, right? I think QQQ even showed it better. SPX, it really helped me short this, bro, because look at how on SPX, bro, it was so clear. This level right here. Happened very fast. Look at this.
Oh, that's nice.
Fall below, bro. And on SPX, that level you watched the day before, it ripped right into. This is why I love trading SPX, bro, because it makes it very clear, like Darren said, on the previous levels, right? Because when you're looking at the market like this, right, we're opening. Let me get rid of this red. Right, when you're looking at it like this, right? Hold on. Okay, there we go. Perfect. You're like, okay, we got this level that was rejected from the day before. Right? Okay. Any acceptance above previous day high, I want a long up to 52.10, which happened later in the day perfectly, right? But I can't just assume it's going to happen at 9:30. What do I need to see? So I wanted to see some buying off this level, right? Instead, we fell below it. This is the 50-50 perspective. This is why it's so important, right? If you can be like, okay, we've fallen into this level. If buyers, once the market looks like this, I'm now like, listen, for me to long this, I need to be above this guy, right? Because there's a current seller at 551.75. I need to be above this guy for longs. We drop below it. Boom. Rip up. Short play. Look at how price right here is ripping way above the 9, but getting sunken in, sinks, falls below end of day, and then falls all the way down to previous day low. Look at how it hit PDL perfectly. Bro, you can't make this shit up. Look at how it comes down, tags PDL to the set, and then rips up. This will highlight the market auction for you like no other. Right? Like we always trade these levels, and this is why. Does it happen like this every single time? No. But the volume that's at these levels is gonna give you an edge. Because whatever happens here is gonna really help you. I took one more short play here off end of day, right? So took price down, caught a really good trade to the downside, but then price ripped back in the end of day. And I guess I was looking at SPY because this chart don't look good. Let me see. But what I loved about this, yeah, so price comes into end of day on SPY was a bit different. I think. Hold up. Oh, no, that's where I went wrong. Yeah, my bad. Here it is. Here's EOD right here. Okay. All right, so price falls below end of day. We come up, retest. Market looks like this. I go short. But what I failed to realize was, look at how the 5 minutes hugging the 9 very well. So yeah, we did rip up. I did get a really good entry on this as well because we ripped up, sucked down. I probably got in right around 514 with a stop above like this candle, right? So I want to just see what the 1 hour looks like here. Hold on. Is this the day? 411. Yeah. So hold on. Okay. So yeah, anyways, price rips into EOD. I go for a short play and get stopped out. But what I want to highlight here is just because I was wrong with shorts doesn't mean I couldn't have readjusted and ended up longing this market. I felt really shitty this day. I did not like. My throat was really kissed. So I ended up going and laying down after that L I took right there. But look at how price, once these sellers couldn't hold EOD, this thing rallied. Same with open print. Look at how, this is why I love the whole concept of 50-50. You got, if sellers don't hold this, boom, pops up the open print. If sellers don't hold open print, boom, rally. So learn to view the market in that manner, right? Just because your analysis is wrong doesn't mean you can't still make a phenomenal trade, right? So like, just learning to be okay with, oh, I was wrong, so what? QQQ showed it really good this day. You trade this day, Darren?
So I took.
Oh, I also long this off Qs. That was it. Remember that.
I could not find an entry on this day. I really wanted to take it long.
Yeah.
And I could not find an entry, and it so I was trading Qs this day.
Yeah, I long
and
this.
I did it because I was watching a zone from the previous day.
Yeah.
I was watching. Yeah, I took the same long as you, and it dipped below that zone from the previous day.
Yeah.
QQQ was at 439, and it was basically, from what I could tell, some kind of liquidity grab.
Yeah.
To get long, to get people who were long to stop out.
Yeah.
Right I was looking to target longs.
Yeah.
And my problem this day was I didn't re-enter because I was just waiting and waiting and waiting for a pullback, and we never got it, and I missed the entire move. So that was frustrating. But I think what I really should have looked at was this 515 level and longing off that 515 level. I was somehow glued to Qs, and I was just tight that I had thought the market was going to go long, got stopped out, and then it went in my direction. Yeah. And so I didn't trade it, but that was my bad. I think I should have just somehow I don't know. I journaled this one, and I basically realized that my criteria was too high for longs, and I didn't get in a long because my rules were too tight, and I wasn't like water. My strategy was not like water, and I wasn't able to adapt.
Yeah. We got that nice move off PDH. I just said screw it. I'm in this, right? I was like, I'm in this long. I was able to trim. This move happened very quick, but I was able to get a nice quick move trim, which kind of helped me when I got stomped out. And then once I got stomped out, that helped me take the market short on SPY. And then, this thing was... It's funny how it works like that, bro. Look at the move right below it. Me and Novak were just talking about this too, where this is where risk-reward is very important for us. Because, just because something like this does happen doesn't necessarily mean we have to, completely miss this. But look at the chop here, Darren. Look at this, dude. It would have been really hard to trade Qs. Look at this. Back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Bro, these are literally, the range on these are literally like $1.50 each. Boom. Like, good luck. How could you even think about trading this? Like, I mean, dude, this is like...
It was really tough to find a long play.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was seeing was that we were making consistently higher lows. And every time we tried to make a lower low, it just got bought right back up, and I'm just thinking this is so bullish. But even though I recognized it was bullish, I did not get long just because I had a really hard time defining the risk that I was able to take on this trade, and it just prevented me from actually entering.
Yeah. And bro, you know what?
I would say the best entry was on SPY off of the 515.
Yeah.
And since we had rejected that level so clearly in the morning to the downside on that short.
Yeah.
That, those sellers, they were stopping out, and for some reason I just wasn't able to see it in that way, and I didn't take it. But
well, and that's gonna happen, dude. So being able to, right there off that 515. You could have chased this above open print. I mean, you could always do something. I mean, it's hard though, right? Like, I'm not necessarily gonna say it's bad to long the market here. But it was hard, bro. This is one of the reasons why I went and laid down too, because I just felt like shit. I couldn't really get my hands on anything else. So, and it's important to be able to do that, bro. Like, me and Darren always talk about it. Like, just because, like, I think sometimes I get frustrated because I know there's a good trade somewhere, but sometimes I can't see it, right? So what happens is I start looking for it. And that's where all the trading errors come from. So, like, being able to disengage from the market, say, dude, you know what? Fuck this today. I'm just stepping back. I'm not trading it. And then watching it rally and not giving a damn is so important. Because what happens when we look at this and go, of course it ripped, right? I wasn't trading. Like, we can't look at it in that fashion. That's where FOMO is bred. Right? Like, anytime moves happen without us, we can tend to get a bit frustrated. So, it was good, Debo, that you were able to, be like, screw this, I'm out. I did the same thing, dude. Like, it's important to be able to do that. 100%. And Friday, dude. Friday was a really good day. Let me get rid of some of these lines.
We're winning some cross.
Yes, sir. We need to get everybody on this.
Yes.
Oh, let's go.
What's up, guys? It's Joe.
Joe, what up, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on?
What's going on?
You're just doing this.
Sorry, guys. I got my son in the car picking him up from lacrosse.
You're good,
and
Joe.
I hit the unmute button by mistake.
That's all right, buddy. That's good. All right. All right.
So if I could actually, I guess, add something to the conversation.
Yes. Yes, bro. Go ahead.
Can you hear me well?
No, you're good, Joe. Go right ahead, buddy.
I just wanted to, kind of give my insight on, like, the past year and kind of just if anybody's on this, webinar.
Yes.
You got to really just put the work in. It's been a year of a lot of downs, and then, when you just turn that corner and you just start seeing the patterns and the light and all the hard work you put in,
Yes.
and it all comes to fruition, it's the best feeling you're ever going to have.
Yes.
You know, there's that saying from that famous runner, right? I don't know exactly his last name, but he trained for 4 years to run 9 seconds.
Yes.
And is exactly how it has to be. So I just wanted to let you guys know, just don't give up and trade small contracts until you're so confident that even when you lose the trade, you did everything right. There should be no reason when you lose a trade, you say, wait a minute, I should have done this.
Yeah.
Because you're not taking the trade correctly.
Right.
So my piece of advice is take the trade with all the check marks, and if it goes wrong, you did everything right on your end, and you will have no regret.
Yeah. Well put, Joe. Absolutely. 100%. Small size, we talked about it earlier.
Oh.
Small size is paramount to building that confidence, bro. Thanks, Joe. 100%, dude. 100%, man. It's all about just building what works for you as well. You know, like there's a lot of strategies out there, a lot of conflicting stuff out there online. It happens to me all the time, right? You're on social media, people training this way, that way, and the third. Finding what works for you is just so important. There's no right way to trade. The only right way to trade is risk reward. You know what I mean? As long as risk reward
100%.
is implemented and you're not right. And that's like, I'm working on this new thing. You guys are gonna love it. It's called it's the laws of trading, right? It's universal laws that cannot be broken regardless of strategy, right? It's like, did I break character in any way, right? I'm gonna really flesh out these laws that I've come up with, right? Like acceptance, risk reward, things that have always been around, right? I didn't come up with them. I just like clarified them. But like Joe's saying, right? Have your criteria and your faith in that. So it doesn't make sense to take any other trade. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have that faith there, it's because you haven't fleshed it out enough yet, and etc. So yeah, it's gonna be sick. I mean, Friday was a perfect example where that open print retest, beautiful, but it just fit the conditions so well. Look at the structure here. I like Darren said literally off that 515 level that played a mega role for the rest of the week. That was something we were watching. Price ripped right up into it. I remember I was debating longs for a minute, but then I was like, until this bearish structure, we did a really good job, Darren, of playing that present moment price, right? Where we were like, bearish structure is holding here very well. And if price, I want to trade with that, right? I'm not going to assume buyers are going to take this, right? Instead, I'm going to trade with the fact that we got clean bearish structure right here. What do I need to see to go short, right? And then price ripped right below 515, right into open print, fell right below open print, shorted the market right here, 514.40. And then price, it was funny because price came down, right? Because I initially got in this trade on this candle, and then price came down, came back up, right? And then I entered into an SPX short play as well, targeting pre-market low. So then we caught a nice move down to PM low, and then it sunk all the way down to previous day low, right? This was a really, really good trade. Darren, didn't you? So walk me through it, because I was done right there. How long? Where did you run me through your profit taking on this trade?
So I traded smaller size than I have been this week, and I think that really helped me, to take profits and then add. So what I did is I got short exactly where you did, off of that 514.40 level, and then I took I guess I want to say 80% of my position at previous day low. I took it there, but then I realized that we had pre-market low as more bearish structure, so I held on to one contract until we came back, and then we came back to pre-market low.
So
and I saw that there was a potential that it was basically an okie doke.
Yeah.
We came down, we retested previous day low, and then we saw strong buying, and then it got soaked up immediately.
Yeah.
And that was when I was like, okay, I'm looking to re-enter to add to my short play because I still had one contract running. And we broke below previous day. We broke below pre-market low. We came back and retested it, and right on that candle,
this guy.
Yep, right there is where I added some more contracts, and I rode that all the way down until 511 is where I exited all of those.
Jeez.
And I was just really, really happy with how I was able to. It all came from profit taking, though. Like, I don't think I would be as excited about adding to that position unless I had taken profits at previous day low. There was no way I could be in a losing trade at all.
Right.
And I had one contract, with a stop, at my entry point.
Yeah.
At, I want to say open print, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
well done.
I was just really happy with it. And man, I traded smaller size this day, and I still got my largest winning day ever. And it just shows that, like, you don't know which day is going to provide the best price action. You really don't.
Right.
All you can do is just continually show up.
Yeah.
And I was really, really happy with how I managed this one. I took profits. I still traded smaller size, and I really let those let it run.
Good for you, bro.
Really happy with this day.
Good for you, Darren. That was a really good. Well done, bro. Well done, dude.
And it all came from understanding the story on higher time frames.
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned on the live, but I took all the zones and levels off my chart, and I just rethought, how I interpreted the market, and it really helped me, trade based on my understanding of how price was oscillating between these zones.
Yeah.
And I recommend anyone to do that. If their chart's all full of lines and stuff, take them off and then spend a good chunk of time redrawing the zones exactly where you want them. And it will make your conviction in those zones so much stronger if they're just, chilling there from the day before.
Very, very true. Very true, bro. You keep these random zones or lines. Well done, bro. I love how you were able to, like this pullback, right? Like, think about it. You're at the point in your trading where you could enter a trade. It's insane. You could enter a trade short off open print, capture a great move, but still understand just because we get a $2 pullback doesn't mean conditions really have changed. Now, you're not necessarily going to hold your whole position here because that would be super low probability, right? You would be accepting the fact that you're willing to give back money. Instead, you profit take. You're playing conditions probabilistically, which is the definition of what we need to do, right? Like, you're going, okay, I locked in a phenomenal trade. I'm going to leave a runner because I still think on the higher time frame this thing's going down. Or not necessarily you think that, it's what you're seeing and understanding. You're going, the market's telling me she's still very bearish. At what point is she no longer bearish? Above open print. So you're accepting the fact that this can move against you another $1, and you're still okay with that loss. That's the definition of acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going, okay, right here, I'm up 70% on my trade. I'm going to book 80% of it, leave a contract. I'm okay with giving back this much to see if this is still right. And then once you realize it's still right, you put more money on the line, more risk on the table. You've identified your edge again, and then you are able to remain super equanimous, mentally calm, composed on this move down. That's fucking exactly what you want to do, bro. That's amazing. It's really well done.
Yeah, I really felt like I energized the belief of trading constantly with what the market was giving me, and not based on my P&L at all.
Yeah, right.
Like, I didn't care if my next entry was a losing trade. I was able to treat it like I hadn't taken any trades at that point.
Right.
And just re-enter. and I really felt like I energized that belief on Friday.
And that's what we talk about with learning to tie your shoe. Once you learn to tie your shoe once, no one ever had to reteach it to you. You see what I'm saying? Once you learn how to draw your name, no one ever had to reteach it to you. You just knew it, right? So you behaving like this is something that's going to lock in your brain for life, right? You're going to have a neurological pathway of this is how I should trade, right? And this is the goal, right? Is stepping out, right? Like think about it. For this to happen, for you to achieve this trade, you had to accept a very large pullback and a potential loss, right? Or not loss, right? But you know what I'm saying. Your ego may have been bent a bit, who knows, right? But you were willing to accept that. You stepped out of your comfort zone here, bro, and it paid off. I'm really pumped for you. It was really good. And then look how 511 held. Yeah, that was it was really good, man. But yeah, that was.
I printed that day out and put it on my wall.
Talk to me, Todd. Talk to me.
This is why you trade break and retest right here.
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Look at
Oh, nice, beautiful.
It's all structure.
All structure, break and retest.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't find no cleaner than that, man.
Yeah. And this is the thing, right? Like, how many times have we been in longs and gotten hurt? And like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I was a beginning trader, I would take this long right here, right? And I would be up some money, and then it would go against me. And then I would start hoping. I'd be, I hope this comes back. I hope this comes back. I hope this comes back. It never comes back. So now, we trade, I just love it, man. We trade with the trend. We trade with the momentum. We're water. We don't predict. We form. You know what or we're formless. You know what I'm saying? We adapt, right? I love seeing everybody starting to trade like this and building that confidence in it, man. I'm really pumped, man. I'm super thankful. Everyone's doing really good and they're making progress. That's literally all that matters. As long as you're becoming better every day, you're killing it. So we're gonna wrap it up there. Thanks everybody for showing up. I'm gonna post this on YouTube for the team. God bless everybody. I will see you guys Monday.
Have a good weekend, everyone.